Cowboy Nation, stand to your feet. Let's get things going the best way, the right way. This will be another episode of the Late Night Hype. We don't have DJ Skywalker still. No, we got another field though. We're going to get this thing the best way possible. We got the unbelievable special guest for the night, Anthony Wright. Let's go.
What's up with you, big dog? It's good to see you again, man. I'm glad you blessed us with your time. How's everything going over there?
Everything is going well, man. Can't complain. You know, trying to deal with everything that's happening, but it's going as good as it can go right now.
Right. It's a lot of tension going on right now. It's just a one more thing that it seems like it's just one thing after another with that. But I think the biggest thing with this that I see is that it's touched everywhere. You know what I mean? It hasn't just hit one particular state. This has been worldwide, and I think people, in my opinion, just had enough.
Oh yeah, no. And listen, man, enough has been enough, and I think that this was a tipping point, along with everything that was going on with the COVID-19, and then this this happening with the killing of George. I think it was kind of like it was a tipping point, and I think it was something that needed to happen. From a standpoint of the world coming together, especially this country, all different races coming together to combat this problem that we've always had for over 400 years.
Right.
And so enough is enough, and it's good to see everybody come together.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's jump into some football, man, because it's not a lot of that's been going on around, but let's talk about some football, and let's talk about Mr. Anthony Wright.
Yes,
now,
sir.
We did an interview about a year ago, and it was an awesome interview. But the good thing about it was a year before, Dak had his season. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But let's go back about talking about you with the Cowboys, and because we were just talking off air how we had Woody on, we had George Teague on. You actually were playing with them at the time with the young puck. They were the guys that were established. You came in. Kind of talk about how you came in with the Cowboys and the situation, and kind of how it, how you thought the situation was in Dallas.
Well, I came in from Pittsburgh. They brought me in for a tryout. I did well at a tryout. So when I was there, I was behind. When I first got there, I was behind Troy.
Oh wow!
And so I had a chance to see him play. I was there with Emmett. So I was there with a few of the guys that had won Super Bowls in the '90s. But they were on the tail end of their careers. So I got a chance to see how they work, got a chance to see how they focus, especially Troy. Troy is probably one of the most focused players I've ever been around. And he was very businesslike. So coming in and having a chance to watch them and learn from them, it was a great experience for me.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. Coming in and being the backup to Troy Aikman is a wonderful experience. When we think about that, when we think about Dak Prescott, he's supposed to have been a backup quarterback. Nevertheless, nobody sit there and say, okay, I don't want the opportunity. He took advantages of the opportunity just like you did. Can you explain to the people how much of a strain that would be just to be a backup and try to learn everything and play for the America's team, the Dallas Cowboys? Can you explain to the people how that feels?
Man, it's a lot of pressure. Dallas Cowboys is, it's funny. I played for a couple other teams, and I actually got more playing time with the Ravens. But a lot of places that I go, people always recognize me from Dallas.
Right.
And
it's America's team, big dog. Come on, man.
It don't matter who you play for.
It don't matter who you are, man.
You probably can get a contract sponsor deal right now.
So, man, it's a lot of pressure, man. And I think he came in. He was in a good position, though. He had, he was on a good team, had a good offensive line, good running back, had good receivers he was throwing to at the time. He was in a good position, and to come in and play for America's team, man, it's a lot of pressure, but I think he's done well so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, my bad, James, because you already know I'm over here hogging the mic, man.
No, you good, because the only thing I want to ask is because your first year with Dallas, Troy Aikman was kind of on the outs.
Yes.
He had the concussion. He got knocked out. They had Randall Cunningham there.
Yes.
And then the next year, they draft Quincy Carter.
Yes.
So my thing was, did they already kind of predestine, since you were kind of around the situation? Did they already kind of predestine as Quincy being the guy and you being the backup? Was that already predestined? So you, in your heart, did you feel like you ever really had a chance to be the guy in Dallas?
Well, I'll tell you the honest God truth. What happened was, when I came to the Cowboys, I had a knee situation, and there's a knee situation that wasn't done correctly when I was in college, and after that first year, because I ended up starting like the last 3 or 4 games there in Dallas, and I was on a practice squad for most of the year, and then I ended up starting like the last 3 or 4 games. And I did pretty well for the most part, and they went into the off season, and I met with the coaches, and the coaches was like, they loved me. They loved everything that I did. They loved the fact that I was able to come in, learn the offense the way I did, and play as well as I did with no reps. And so they were very optimistic with me about the situation. But I think what happened was, they had a front office meeting, and they met with the doctors. And when they met with the doctors said that I had no upside because of my knee. And so then they went ahead and they moved forward in the draft, and that's when they drafted Quincy. So when Quincy came in, we knew that Quincy was going to be the guy. And I didn't realize what the situation was until after they drafted Quincy. And after they drafted Quincy, and I realized that they had an issue with my health, then I went ahead and got my knee done on their dime. I think we played that year. Well, actually, going into that year, they had just drafted Quincy. They had Tony Banks. They had myself, and they had Clint Sterner. And
Clint Sterner, wow.
Stern. Yeah.
You feel me? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
They ended up getting rid of Tony Banks in camp. Tony was acting up, and so it was me and Quincy, and I was going to back up Quincy. So Quincy went in as a starter, and I ended up playing a few games that year. And then after I think I ended up playing against the Redskins, and we won that game. And after that game, my knee swelled up a little bit, and then I shut it down for that season. So that's kind of what was going on. I was having some health issues, and I guess they made the best decision for them. So.
Oh wow! So with the knee, was it like bone to bone rubbing together, or was it like something to do with the cartilage, or what was going on?
Well, when in college, we was playing against Tennessee, and I ended up tearing my ACL, MCL, meniscus, and 2 hamstring tendons.
Ooh!
And what happened was when I had my surgery, I had surgery from the team. I had my surgery from the team doctor, and he didn't tie my ACL down. And my ACL is still lax, and so, but I didn't know that until I was in the league, and so then by the time I found that out, I got it fixed in Dallas, like I said, and then I was able to go to Baltimore, and that's when I ended up playing the most in Baltimore. But yeah, that's kind of how my career went. It was kind of like a up and down rocky road, but it was a kind of road that was made for me. So,
no doubt.
See, well, you know what's so crazy though about it though? You was at Dallas and you was going back and forth with Quincy, and it just seemed to me that they had out kind of penciled him the guy. But it's crazy that you said that about the injury, that it seemed like it was more about they really liked you and you would have been the guy, but the injury kind of knocked you out, and so it pushed Quincy to the forefront. You leave Dallas, right? You go over to Baltimore and you turned up. I mean, they had Kyle Bowler. You took his spot, and you had a nice team over at Baltimore. You had Jamal Lewis that ran for 2,000 yards, I believe, that year you were there.
Yes.
You had an all-world defense, Ray Lewis, Adalius Thomas. Like, you had all the nasty defense, and you went like 5-2 your year at Baltimore, right?
Yes. I came in, man. It's crazy. When I went to Baltimore, they drafted Kyle, and they had a guy by the name of Chris Redmond. And so they had drafted Chris Redmond in the 3rd round. They had drafted like 2 years prior to that, and they drafted Kyle in the 1st round that year. And so when we went into mini camps and stuff, I played so well, man, that the coach pulled me to the side, was like, if we had a name of starter today, you would be our guy. But he was like, with the situation being the way it is and the business being the way the business is, you're probably not going to get a fair shake. Because they had Chris Redmond, and they had, who was a 3rd round draft pick, and they had Kyle, who was a 1st round draft pick. So he was going to basically let them battle it out. And I was going to basically be be a third string guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, the thing that I respect about that is that they actually told me. Like he sat me down. He told me the situation. He was straight up with me. And he was like, "Listen, this is the situation." I didn't like to hear that, but at the same time, I respected it because it let me know where I was. Versus when I was in Dallas, when I was going through that whole situation, nobody really talked to me and told me anything. It was kind of like I was just hearing it on the fly, or I was just watching it. We was playing when I was in Dallas. We were playing Oakland, and I was playing. And after the game, I found out that Jerry actually had Ryan Leaf at the game. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, so he has Ryan at the game. So that was one of the reasons why I went ahead and got my knee done too against that Redskin game, because he was already courting other players. And so it's like, well, if he's going to be courting him, then I'm going to go ahead and get my knee fixed. So I see where this is headed. And but like I said, but back to Baltimore, they were straight up with me. They told me what the deal was. And so going into that season, all the way up to about the 7th game of the season, we were about little under 500, and the team we were doing a lot of heavy running game with Jamal,
right?
And Cal gets hurt. We playing in St. Louis, and Cal gets hurt, and then Chris goes in, and Chris stinks up the second half, and I think we end up losing. And the defensive guys went up to the front office and asked the coaches in the front office to let me be the starter instead of Chris.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. And that's how I became the starter.
That's how you came to starter.
That's how I became the starter.
Especially if you practicing and you going up against that good defense. Man.
Yes.
Who was the defensive coordinator at that time?
Rex Ryan.
Was Mike Nolan or any of those people?
Nolan.
Mike Nolan.
It was Mike Nolan.
I'll see, and we got Mike Nolan on the squad.
We got Mike Nolan on the like James about to say now. So facing against that particular defense, and I know it's a different type of era, different type of scheme and schematics. How is Mike Nolan's defense? Can you shed some light on it? Because you had to go up against those boys.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Mike had one of the most sophisticated defenses I've ever seen. And he had like a lot of we used to call it a UFO, which means like he would have guys coming from all over the place. Guys would be walking around, and the next thing you know, a strong safety is blitzing, and a defensive end is dropping out playing the Mike linebacker position. And so he was really tricky. He was really he studied the game a lot. He was really on top of what he had to do. Defensively, and he caused a lot of problems, man. I saw him blow up Ben Roethlisberger a lot of times. I saw him blow him up, man. I'm talking about guys running scot-free. So he has a very sophisticated defense, and if those guys can get that scheme down, that's a problem.
Yes, indeed.
That's what we like to see.
Do me a favor,
sit back just a little bit so we can see your face.
Oh yeah, we got all chest action, man. You been pumping that weight
right now. We know you got big and diesel, but we need to see your face.
And he was giving the nation the chest.
I can't see myself. This screen. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Hey. With that being said, we got a guy named Jalen Smith on our team. And if I'm not mistaken, was Ray Lewis on the team at the time, right?
Yeah, yes.
So with Mike Nolan, is he kind of like rubbing his hands together with the Jalen Smith and also with the LVEs of the world? Do we have anybody of the caliber that you had on that particular roster?
I think so. Really, man, the X factor for that defense really was Adelius Thomas.
Oh yeah, he was nasty.
Yeah, because he could do so much. And then you had Ed Reed, his range was so incredible that he can get from side to side. So I think the Cowboys, with the personnel that you guys have, I think you guys have a chance, especially with Mike at the defensive coordinator. You have a chance to be one of the top defenses in the league. Because I'm telling you something, with Mike, you're getting one of the best. You're getting one of the best by far. You're getting one of the best by far. So, it's a matter of if the guys can pick up on his scheme.
So let me ask you this. You're saying it's his scheme. Is it a complicated type scheme? Is it a lot of nuances in that scheme, or is it kind of a react, go ahead and make plays?
No, it's a complicated scheme. It's a complicated scheme. Yeah,
oh, my goodness. Now, I know Rob Ryan wasn't on that team. It was Rex Ryan. But I remember when Rob Ryan was coaching over here, people were saying it was too complicated. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you need. Here's what you need, man. You need guys that are gonna spend time in the film room.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need. So these guys are gonna have to dedicate themselves to studying the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Are they spending the time to learn what he's trying to do? And like I said, with Mike, it was guys coming from all over the place. Now he may have changed.
Yeah.
But he had guys come from all over the place. And what happens with that is when you have guys come from all over the place, that means that the guys that are blitzing, the guys that aren't blitzing have to fill certain voids.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that they have to know where they should be. And if one of those guys gets screwed up and gets lost and where he should be, it'll create huge voids in the defense. So it's important those guys know exactly what they need to do and where they need to be. And if they know where they need to be, then the scheme won't be so hard. So that comes with studying. They have to study.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what a lot of people have been talking about. They were even saying that last year, A-Dub, how, guys were in the wrong spots, taking the wrong angles, just not being in the wrong spots, and how it threw off the whole defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But let me ask you this, because you was a QB, and we're going to talk about Dak Prescott. Like I said, me and you had the conversation before the year started about Dak. So we saw the full year, almost threw for 5,000 yards. He got John Kitna as his coach. Quarterback's coach. He's not that now. What are your thoughts about Dak Prescott? Do you think he's the franchise guy? And do you think he's to keep on holding out for what he wants to get as far as paid?
Wow.
Talk to me.
I personally, honestly, man,
speak it.
Go ahead. Get it off your chest. Yeah.
Yesterday we had T go there because a lot of other former Cowboy players, like Dak needs to hold out, get his money. We heard George T give us another angle, didn't we, Law?
Yeah.
Where he was like, well, I don't know. You asking for 40. I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
just go ahead and do 35 or try to maybe play on the franchise tag 1 year. But he said he thought Dak was the franchise, but, he said, hey, be a little bit diplomatic with the money. We want to hear your thoughts. It don't matter what you think. Say what you feel.
And you already gave us a nugget earlier, and I'm going to bring it up after you make your statement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, I want to put him in the top guys in the league.
Okay.
I think he's solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been fortunate. He's had a good running back. He's had a good offensive line, even though they've been hurt here and there, but has a strong offensive line. If he's in a position to get his money, he needs to get it,
right?
Because it's business, and so he has to protect himself. So when it comes to his money, I want him to get everything he can get.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to get everything he can get. But as far as my opinion on just him being that top guy, like one of the top guys in the league, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't put him I wouldn't put him past Russell Wilson. I wouldn't put him past Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't put him past Tom Brady. I wouldn't put him past. If Cam
what about
Newton
Deshaun Watson? What about Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, I want to put him past Deshaun Watson.
Is he a top 10 quarterback in your eyes?
Huh?
Is he a top 10 quarterback in your eyes?
Yeah. I'll put him
he's still
in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put him in the top 10.
Where would you rank him? Where would you rank him?
Probably middleweight of pack.
Okay.
Probably somewhere between 7, 8, 9.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, if you look at a lot of the people in the publications, that's fair because just the top people we all know he ain't buried no damn Aaron Rodgers, no Tom Brady, no Drew Brees. I mean, come on. If you're not seeing that, or Russell Wilson, if you're not seeing that, you're blind, in my opinion. But I definitely feel like he's a top 10 guy, in my opinion. And I think he's a franchise guy for the Cowboys because if you look at what they've been having and what they have right now, and I also say, and I want to ask your opinion on it, they got Mike McCarthy now. We see what Mike McCarthy has done with quarterbacks and offenses and things of that nature. And my thing is said this, and I want to ask your opinion, Anthony. I said if he's done this good with Jason Garrett, if you throw in a Mike McCarthy, how much better of a player can he be?
Yeah, coaching do matter, though. Can you agree or disagree?
I totally agree. I mean, coaching is huge. Yeah. You get a guy who understands concepts, who understands how to call plays, and puts him in good positions to be successful, it's definitely going to help him a lot. I mean, he's played well. Like I said, he's a top 10 guy in the league for sure.
I mean, you got you a Super Bowl ring, right?
Yes.
See, you got you a Super Bowl ring. What happened? Well, what was it? The coaching? Did they put people around that particular team to get that particular quarterback to get there, or was it just the outlook of the collective team?
It was Coach Coughlin, man. It was Coach Coughlin. Coach Coughlin was a disciplinarian,
right?
And everybody knew their job. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do, and we got hot at the right time. And that's how we won it. We gained confidence because we ended up playing New England last game of the season and almost beat them.
Right.
And that gave us confidence going into the playoffs. And so we took that confidence and we took that discipline and we were able to be successful. And that's one of the things I say about Coach Coughlin. Going into New York, you heard all these stories about Coach Coughlin being this hard-nosed guy, difficult to get along with. But it wasn't necessarily the situation. Coach Coughlin was a great guy to get along with. He just wanted you to follow the rules. If he wanted you to be 5 minutes early, which is 5 minutes earlier than 5 minutes earlier, because
you're on time, you're late.
5 minutes early. He wanted 5 minutes earlier than the 5 minutes. So that's 10 minutes early. But whatever. If he wants you that early, be there. That's all. That's all. Just be there 10 minutes early. And so I think that was the big thing. That's how we got our championship.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Discipline is everything. And when the Dallas Cowboys made it to the playoff game in 2007, I believe that was a year, right? Big game, James? They already had the celebratory feeling that they're going to go to Cabo.
Yeah.
And I bet you your head coach at the time was sitting there like,
what was they talking about in the locker room about that?
How y'all felt about that? Because y'all had to knock us out the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
Y'all had to beat. That was y'all Super Bowl. That was the craziest thing.
Let's talk about that right now. Hey, Dub.
Listen, before we went out on the field, Coach Coughlin circled us up because we didn't know about it. Coach Coughlin circled us up and told us that Jerry had done that. That Jerry had purchased tickets already, was already handing out tickets.
Wow.
And it lit a fire.
See, James, see Big Game James. Boy.
I need these nuggets.
It lit a fire, man. And we went out there, man, and played. I mean, the guys played unbelievable. And like I told you, the last game of the season, we played New England, who was undefeated, and we almost beat them. And our confidence was high. And so when we went to play the Cowboys that game, Coach Coughlin circled us up, told us what happened, told us the deal, and that was all we needed to hear. And the guys just, it was almost like it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. And when professionals take something like that as disrespect, they come out and play a whole lot harder.
Oh, yeah. And especially, already – we say we went to Cabo. I think the Cowboys swept the Giants that year.
Yes.
So they came in really high, like, who the Giants? We're going to beat them again. Yes. And I was sitting there like, man, one thing I can tell you about
it's always the hardest time to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah. Yes.
You can beat them twice, but that third time is always the hardest, dog.
It really is.
It didn't take advantage of the situation. Oh, I wanted to touch a little bit on that nugget. You said that when you was with the Cowboys, Jerry Wayne Jones, he brought in Ryan Leaf, right? Or at least to the game.
Yes.
And that made you feel like, man, why will I give my extra effort? Something similar happening and going on right now. And I'm not saying that he's the end all be all. I'm not saying that this brother can walk on water, but his name is Andy Dalton. Yes. How would you feel as a quarterback of the America's team if you, Dak Prescott, you have yet to make over $4 million, and they signed this Andy Dalton kid who got some experience with the West Coast offense and beyond, got everything else, and he's from Texas? How would you feel? Is that the same situation or something similar?
Yeah, it's something similar. It's a slap in the face, man. It's a slap in the face because, you know, you want management to show you some loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, you'll trust them. It's like anything else. You'll trust them. You'll go the extra mile for them. You'll do whatever you need to do to be successful for that organization if you feel like they are loyal to you.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you start to feel that they aren't loyal or that, you know, they feel like they can replace you, and then you start looking at it from a business standpoint yourself. You're like, okay, I got to look at it from a business standpoint now.
Mm-hmm.
I got to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned about the Cowboys. I'm not concerned about Jerry. I'm concerned about Dak. I'm concerned about Anthony. And that's kind of what happens when those situations come up.
That's some good stuff.
And man, you know what? Just how you just saying that, because here's my thing, and this is how I feel. If I had my owner, and I made a show about this, A-Dub, that I made a show that if I was sitting down, right, watching TV, and I kept on seeing my owner jumping on TV saying, well, you know what? He's our franchise, but we got to spread the money. We got to be able to pay everybody. We got to be able to do this. And then you go ahead and sign an Andy Dalton, just like you said. In my heart, I'm thinking, you know what? I just blood, sweat, and tears for you for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I never missed a game. I did everything you wanted me to do. I came out of nowhere. Y'all didn't think I was even going to be doing this in these 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all still continue to play me. And then when I'm sitting out trying to get my money, which is the right thing to do on their business side, is to cover their back. They're doing the smart thing by going and getting a capable quarterback because Cooper Rush wasn't the dude.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a franchise quarterback and you're looking like you're saying I'm the franchise, but where are you showing me I'm the guy? So that's when you have to reevaluate and change your mind frame and say, you know what, I got to get mines now. Is that not correct? Isn't that what most NFL players do, big dog?
Yes, 100%. Because, like you said, once you go through it and you experience it, then your mindset changes. You know, it's kind of like it's not like college, right? The loyalty with college. When the pros, though, the owners are only loyal to the team because the owners are going to always be there for the most part, right?
Right.
The players come and go. Players come and go. And so Jerry can tell you, hey, you're my guy. You're my guy. You're my guy. But then that money is going to be the dictator. That money, when he pays that money, that's the telltale right there. And if you keep telling me that, but you don't want to pay me, now I can't really believe what you're saying to me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I got this wonderful analogy right here. You don't go buy a Porsche and park it outside when you got a garage.
Exactly.
You already calculating, I got this Porsche. I'm going to make sure I cover it up. I'm going to make sure, or at least buy a cover for it, for crying out loud.
Yes.
You don't let people walk by and put fingerprints all over it. You make sure you covet that a little bit. And I don't care what nobody says to me. Dak Prescott at this point is not the face of the franchise. At least they are not treating him like that Porsche or like that new car. They letting that thing sit outside, letting the media rip him apart, letting his fan base have all of the craziest, nefarious thing that they would say about Rain Dakota Prescott. And although he's doing everything, never been suspended, never missed a game like my dog Big Game James just said, never had none of this stuff. And all he does is show up on Sunday, and you leave him outside in the rain and allow people to put their fingerprints all over him? Come on now. The writing is on the wall.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Because
and that's why,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. And that's
go ahead.
That's why it's hard for me to, and when you ask me about him being paid, it's like, you know, I want him to get as much money as he can get.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to get his because I understand the business and I understand how it works. Now, whether I feel like if he's good enough to get that money, it doesn't matter. I want you to get everything that you get because the market. You know what I was looking at the other day?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on Instagram. It's the top 10 highest paid athletes in the world, all sports. And so I'm reading the list. I think like Roger Federer was first, something like that. So I'm reading, and I get down and I see Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Number 9.
Wow.
And then I see
number 10.
Carson Wentz, number 10. And I'm looking at this, and I had to reread it. I had to go back to the top and make sure I didn't read it wrong. I was like, wait a minute. All athletes.
So, Kirk Cousins,
the number
his
9.
agent is a beast.
A beast. He's 1-4 against Dak Prescott, collectively speaking. And Carson Wentz, he never won a playoff game. They got rid of the only quarterback to ever win them the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I know a lot of people would put their trust and love in Carson, but Dak Prescott, from where he was drafted and from what he did for the organization, come on now. Come on, Jerry.
Yeah, Dak should get paid. Dak should get paid.
And you know, the thing is, it's funny to me, A-Dub, is that how they always play this little game in the media, and then y'all always end up paying them. It's almost like, why are you playing the game? Because you said you weren't setting any records with a DeMarcus Lawrence. You said you weren't setting the bar with Ezekiel Elliott. You said you weren't doing with Zach Martin. You said you weren't doing with all these guys, and you end up paying all of them. So the point is, why play the games? Get a man what he wants. Y'all keep on talking these 5-year deals, man. Get this man his 4-year deal. Everybody else is on him. He's earned it. Let him do his thing and try to get this championship, because at the end of the day, you got the coach that you said you wanted. You got a good draft that just came in. You got players that at their prime peak. Stop playing the game and get the championship. If you're really talking about the chip, there shouldn't be no reason why Dak Prescott isn't signed. What do you think?
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, there's no reason Dak shouldn't be signed. You know, like I said, everything you just stated before, as far as him, the last 4 years, not missing a game, going out there and being some of the top statistics in the league, he's performing. You know, he's performing statistically. So if Kirk Cousins can get paid,
you feel me?
Then Dak should be able to get paid.
Right. Kirk Cousins ain't won jack poo, and he is eating. You got 2 straight. And here's the thing, even with the Redskins, the GM said, you are not our guy. Yeah. That's why he didn't sign that. He said he told him, you're not our guy. That's why we're not signing you long term. We don't believe in you. But you still, and Kirk Cousins said, you know what? All right, I'm not going to be afraid of the tag. I'm going to take it 2 straight years. After that, I'm going to get a guaranteed contract, and then you get a 2-year extension on top of that, and you ain't won nothing.
And this is the 2 thing right here. What have the Redskins done since they got rid of Kirk Cousins? On top of that, think about this. I don't think that Dak Prescott got the longitude and the latitude to do what a Kirk Cousins did with that franchise tag, because here's why. The Dallas Cowboys are more marketable and more talked about than the Redskins when he did that for the Redskins, for Kirk Cousins, whatever he did over there, you see. And on top of that, if I'm Dak, and this is just me, I'm not telling him what to do, of course. But if I got $35 million, I don't know what the guaranteed money is on the table, which could be around $610 million guaranteed, 5 years, stretched over 5 years. I would not bet on myself a second time, because he bet on himself last year. I would not bet on myself a second time, because week 4 of the season,
they're going to take that money away.
All he going to have is at 31. Right now, Cam Newton is looking for a job. Right now, Jameis Winston just got a $3 million deal or $2 million, some crazy low, you know. Yes. So it's not promised that he's going to make that creme de la creme money.
That's the only thing that I would say to him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I would say. I mean, listen, a lot of people will say there's a big difference between 40 and 35 or whatever they're offering them. But like you said, it's no guarantees. No guarantees. And if you're giving me that type of money, it will be hard for me to turn that down, because I feel like I need another 5 or 6 or whatever.
I mean,
me personally.
Yeah.
I feel you. Well, let's hope that this thing gets together, man, because like I said, it's frustrating what's going down. But as you said, Ada, I see both sides. Like part of me says, you know what, hold strong, stay firm in what you want to do. But then when I listen to George and then I'm listening to you too, is like, you ain't never made 35 mil a year. You know what I'm saying? Right. You ain't never made 35 million a year. Right. You've been making bargain basement bread, and now you can be making 35 million a year. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be the franchise and you say you don't want to go nowhere else, you want to be long term with Dallas, you get what I'm saying? It's just this thing is just kind of tricky. And just listening to Teague yesterday, he was like, listen, man, don't go above your means because that money might get taken away from you. And then you're going to be sitting there thinking like, damn, I should have go ahead and took that.
Exactly. Well, it's a gamble. That's what he's gambling. I mean, it's a big time gamble that he's doing.
Yes, indeed.
For me personally, it would be tough. But hopefully, whoever his agent is,
Todd Francis,
hopefully he knows what he's doing because he doesn't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that agent, right? You don't want to be that agent.
No, you do not.
He's like, you mean to tell me, what's that dude? Was it Coach? Was not Judge Joe Brown? Me used to call it crackhead move. What was that dude? You mean to tell me?
That was him.
Yeah, Joker used to say, you mean to tell me you stole the car from your auntie?
That's him. Well, hey, that guy, his agent does not want to be that guy.
Oh my goodness, man!
Don't want to be that guy at all.
We all don't want to be that guy.
Hey, Dub, we ain't gonna hold you because I know you got something to do. But I want to ask you one thing. I just want you to tell me the one story because me and you talked about it on the last interview.
Yes.
When you talked about when you were there in Dallas for those couple of years, tell me what you saw Jerry Jones do in your quarterbacks meeting.
He was in a meeting with us, taking notes.
Explain all that, dog.
I mean, we will be in the meeting room. Say like so. Friday morning, we will come in to watch film, and Jerry will be in the meeting room with a playbook, listening and going over the plays with us.
So wait a minute now, hold on. So you mean to tell me
Jerry was in the meeting room with us. With a playbook.
Oh my goodness.
Like Jerry knew the plays. Jerry knew the offense. He was in there with us.
My God.
It was amazing. It was weird. It was weird. It's like the owner is in here meeting with us. It was weird, man. It was just like a weird dynamic, but he's the owner, so he can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, one of my mods over here, for the guys, man, said Todd Francis was his Dak Prescott agent. He got what's the guy named Tanny Hill, his paper for 8 games. I didn't know that. So
I mean, that's why he probably because I don't think Todd Francis was his original agent because I think he dropped an agent and he switched to them because Xavier Woods went with them, that CIA representative, because those guys get that money. And it's funny when you see those guys drop certain agencies that aren't really getting that bread and they do it right before, let's say they got 1 year in their deal. All of a sudden you see them drop their agent and get one of these high profile agents because guess what? What is that telling you? I need to get that money, and the current guy I got is not going to be aggressive enough and get my money. So that's why they drop these guys and go with these top guys.
I agree.
That's crazy, man.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble, though.
Yeah, it's a gamble. Well, let's hope this gamble ain't bad, because dog, we need Dak Prescott in here, because I know you about the red rifle and all that good stuff, but you ain't won Jack Poo, and you a backup, and we ain't winning no damn Super Bowl with no Andy damn Dalton. Okay,
no you're not.
Yeah, what's your scouting report on him? You gave us your thoughts on Dak Prescott. What's your scouting report on old Andy?
I think he's a good backup.
Okay.
I think he'll be able to. With a backup, what you're looking for is a guy that can go in and play with no reps. They can fill in well with no reps, and I think he should be able to make that transition. I mean, he was playing for the Bengals, so Not like he was playing for a legit team or a legit franchise, but at the same time, he's a veteran. He's played a lot of games. He started a lot of games, so he should be able to go in when need be and finish off games.
Most certainly, man. I ain't gonna hold you long, man. James, what else you got for?
Oh, I just want to tell you, hey man, I appreciate you. We kind of did it on the fly. I know you had some stuff to do, but I definitely appreciate you once again jumping on here, big dog.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to be doing some stuff during the year with a lot of the other Cowboys that have come on, probably some analysts. And what I was talking about was we had George Teague was talking about doing some stuff. And what I was wanting to throw out there to you, Anthony, since you was a quarterback, when we do maybe some film study during the the week on a game, maybe you can jump in and we do an all 22 and you break down what the quarterback sees, so you can show the viewers, because you played the game at a high level.
Yes,
we want to be able to see from the quarterback's eyes, be able to break down what they see. So if you're able to come back during the season and throw that in for us, that'd be awesome, man.
It'd be my pleasure, man.
Yes, indeed,
okay,
man.
Yes, all right, now y'all all heard it, right? This is recorded.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Count me in, man.
Okay. Hey, man, we appreciate you, big dog, and thank you for your time, man. And we're going to talk to you soon, big dog.
You guys have a good one.
Hey, man, stay safe.
You too.
Salute. Yes, indeed, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff from him, man. Good stuff. So, Big Game James, how you feel about the interview, man? And
I love A-Dub, and like I said, he keeps it real funky. And what I want to do is, like we were just talking about, bring him on when we were talking about with Teague and let's say we're talking about the safety position, right? We've been having problems with the safety position, so we do the all 22. We break it down. We bring in George Teague. Say, hey, this is what you need to look at, and this is what you need to see. So, hey, you bring in A-Dub, we're talking about quarterback play, and guess what? We're running the all 22, and he's showing you this and that, because a lot of people don't understand. Anthony Wright, in my opinion, didn't get a fair shot in Dallas, and he had the injuries. You heard what he said, that they liked him his first year there, but he had the injury, so they started looking elsewhere. And once they drafted Quincy Carter, I feel like he was their guy. But if you look at what Anthony Wright did, he didn't have a bad season his second season with Dallas. And when they let him go and he went to Ravens, he turned up when he had a team around him.
He surely did, man. And I think that quarterback play is all about the opportunity, and it's all about also how fast you can pick up what the offense is trying to do, and how you can dissect what the defense is trying to take away from what your offense is trying to do. So he brought in some good stuff, man, especially giving us some background information on Jerry being all in the meetings and stuff like that.
That's crazy, right? That the owner.
Yeah.
And when he told me that the first time I interviewed him, he told me that Jerry was sitting in the meetings and knew all the plays. Remember how it's so funny how we talk about Jerry being on the sidelines and Jerry was the coach? Well, to me, that proves it.
Yeah, that absolutely proves it.
That absolutely proves it, that he was like the coach, like he was the guy. Because let's think about it. When Jimmy Johnson was gone, right, they had Chan Gailey. Maybe he wasn't on him that much, but Dave Campo was, to me, like a Jason Garrett.
Right.
Maybe Garrett was better in a sense, but nobody was looking at Campo thinking that Campo was going to do anything with Dallas. Did we really think that?
Nah.
We
let two of the best coaches go.
You feel me? So if we feel that way, Law, right? What do you think Jerry Wayne Jones thinks, as you said?
Yeah.
If we thought that, he probably had no confidence in him, so that's why he was probably sitting his butt in there in the quarterback meetings, because he's thinking, I don't really believe in you, Campo, so I'm going to babysit the way he probably did with Jason Garrett. Yeah. It seems to me that he backs off a little bit when he had Parcells, and now I think he'll back off now because he has a guy who's been there and done that. But whenever Jerry gets a coach that he feels that ain't been there and done that, he's going to have his handprints all in that.
Yes, indeed. He's going to have his hands all in it. And we missed out on a lot of opportunities. We had Coach Zim. You know, he would have been a good situation for us.
Oh, my God.
And Sean Payton. Those were the two guys. Maybe you can say about what's that coach that went over to the Jets? The brother, I forgot what's his last name. He was on his roster for a cup of coffee, and then he became the head coach for the Jets or what have you. But we had some
Tony Bowles.
Yeah, Coach Bowles. So I mean, we had some people. I don't want to say the other guy from Miami. We went to Miami. He didn't really pan out that well. Was it Spagnola? Spagnola. Yeah, maybe rest in peace. But we missed out on a lot of opportunities. And one can say a lot of this stuff has changed because it's water under the bridge. Because we got Will McClay in here, and since he had his fingerprints in this thing, we got some good stuff as it relates to drafting opportunities and player evaluations. But outside of that, man, we was in some dark ages.
Oh, that was the dark ages. When we had Campo, that was the dark ages. And what's so crazy is that he played. What's so weird about it is that we got Woody, we had Teague, we had Wright, and all of them played with each other at the same time.
Wow.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And they all gave us some nuggets too.
And they all gave us nuggets from each side of the thing. You know, when we were listening to Teague, right, and I believe when we listened to Woody, isn't it messed up that we had Zimmer on the squad, right? And remember, people were hating on Zimmer. Remember,
right?
That's why Zimmer was gone, because they were hating on him, saying his D was whack and it was outdated and this and this and this. He goes over to Cincinnati, turns up, goes into Minnesota, and look what he's doing. That could have been a future coach for us.
Yeah, him or Sean Payton or what are those dogs,
if they would have just been Jerry just would have did it the right way. Yeah. But you see how Jerry was impatient, and you had a lot of guys from that staff go other places and they're successful.
Yes, indeed. That's why I can't wait to talk to the other side of the coin, Patrick Creighton.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm gonna rub it in and say, hey, we just had A-Dub, and A-Dub was like, man. We was looking at them like, oh, you guys had already penciled y'allself into the Super Bowl?
That's crazy how he was saying that, right? And what's crazy, how he was on that squad, right? He was on the Giants team. Isn't that crazy? And he was saying that Jerry had already purchased tickets for next week.
Yes. Who else was on that team? Was Canty?
Who? Chris Canty?
Was he on that team too? Did he get a Super Bowl with the Giants, or he got it from the 2011 Giants?
I think he did get a Super Bowl victory. I think he did.
We got to bring him on to get all of the sauce and the secrets of what happened.
Man.
Yeah,
because I mean, I think it was because remember he was bragging about it, because remember Canty was nasty for us. We let him go, and then he goes and wins.
Yeah, man.
He went with the Giants and was turning up over there.
Man, oh man, oh man.
It's just funny how people leave the Cowboys and go do good somewhere else.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad that we got that insight with Mike Nolan. That makes me sleep better at night, believe it or not.
Man,
knowing that he's in here.
That was great nuggets, was it not?
Yeah.
Law?
It was good, man. Hey, while we was live, I know you probably got some donations, man. You got any shout outs over there?
Let's get them shout outs to them donations over here. Yeah, let me give them shout outs, because I had some new members too. But let's get some shout outs. But yes, before I give these shout outs, that was huge nuggets when he said Mike Nolan. You brought it up. Good call right there, big dog. That you called it. I forgot Mike Nolan was even over there. But then when you hear him saying that, listen, you got a gem in Mike Nolan. He said, I don't know what Mike Nolan's doing now, but when I remember he was there, he was turning up. You never knew what he was going. But then when I listened to his interviews, Law, he was saying the same thing in his interviews. And he said he used to give that our offense fits in practice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, and especially bringing in the different blitz formations and the different blitz packages. And I know right now, we can't put our fingerprints on it and say, well, Jalen will be the next Ray Lewis. I know that that's almost like blasphemous to say that. Nevertheless, we can look at it and say, well, maybe this coach can see something and blitz him a little bit more instead of dropping him off in coverage and be, whatever else they had him doing.
Yep, he said, yep. David Jenkins says, yes, Canty did get a Super Bowl with the Giants, so that was correct on that one.
Oh, wow.
But let me go ahead and give my shout-outs to my peoples, then you give your shout-outs to you, and we can keep on moving, because we got to talk about this damn Drew Brees thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to my dog, Ford Parkway. And guess how? I said I need a $20 holler, and he came through the clutch with the jumping right off the top turnbuckle, hitting you in the head with the $20 holler. For Perrier, you know how we do. I love you for life, dog. And then I got Andres Nunya. He hit me with the 911 holla. So we appreciate you as well. And also we had some upgrades on. Remember, TX Bread, Texas Bread 83 is a Supreme member now, and also my dog the Ninja, he moved up to the Supreme status as well. Hey, let's keep getting them donations popping, man, because guess what? If there's camp, me and Law gonna be there, and y'all gotta help me get there.
Yes, indeed. And I like to just give a shout out to my dog, man, Skywalker Steel. He's not here, but his presence is here, you know. His presence is still here, man. So y'all salute to him, man. His channel, we live on his channel. Unfortunately, he had to do some things with his family. You know, we always put family before everything.
Family's always first.
You know, so family first, but we all family here, Cowboy Nation. We all bleed silver and blue. Now, if you cut us, you know, we gonna bleed silver and blue, but we gonna fight. We gonna throw them hands too now.
We're gonna throw them hands.
We're gonna throw them hands like, dog, you cut me.
You
see that blue coming out, but watch these fisticuffs. But shout out to June Bug, man. Really appreciate you for making the donation to help elevate the nation. Stuart Morrison, Landon, man, all of you guys are like sponsors to this show because you keep helping this thing grow with your love and support and adulations, and also Sports Guru. And he put 95 on his last name on this thing. Man, I
like
love
that.
it, man. Sports Guru
Sports
95.
Guru, we're good with you.
Appreciate you, man. So shout out to all of the mods, Miss Jackie, J Farm D. I can't wait to see you out there in the Star in Frisco because you know we're going to be there. If they allow the, I guess, the fans to go there, let me know. Let me know, Jay, if they're going to allow the fans to at least tiptoe, or at least see from a distance.
Please, Jay,
you know?
give us the inside intel. You got it all.
Yeah, and salute to Vaughn from Shreveport, fam.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's my dog over there.
I said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Vaughn don't play around. Hey, Boothang, can I get my drink?
Bossier City, baby. Shout out to Bossier City, too, man. And y'all don't forget to put
he over there in Boozy Land?
No, I don't think he's from Bossier City. I just know that in the area over there. Yeah, so, man, what else you took away from good old A-Dub?
Man, I just took away that, you know what, he's a guy that is supremely confident. You know, he was a guy that I felt like he really felt like he maybe not got his just due in the league. I think injuries kind of hurt him, but I don't think he felt like he really got his just due because, as I said before, when he had his opportunity, I mean, he did some good things in the league, and I don't think he really got the opportunity in Dallas. I think it was predestined when Jerry Jones, like he said, I like having, that's why we like bringing the intel. You feel me? Law, that's why we like bringing the intel because, see, we would have never known about him having a knee injury. No. He was saying that how he did good this year, and they were looking at him being the guy next year. But they found out he had a bad knee, and they were like, we don't think you have any upside, so Quincy Carter gets drafted. We never would have known that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like the Romo story. That's what I love is because we're hearing stories that we didn't even know, and now you see why Quincy Carter was drafted.
Wow. And just to write it on the wall with Ryan Leaf.
Man, he's saying he was playing at the Raiders game, and Jerry was recruiting Ryan Leaf.
I mean, good grief.
That's crazy.
And at the time, people don't understand this. Ryan Leaf was absolutely not just trash, but you ever took out the trash and you see that juice? You see that juice at the bottom of the trash that somehow left in the circumference of the trash can? That was Ryan Leaf at the time. And for them to bring him in, it was like, come on, man. Come on.
I mean, and you heard what he said. He said when he found out, and that's when these players, and I like listen to these guys because that's when they tell you this is a business. Right. This is a business. All these people out there be thinking this is an entertainment thing and everything's all. This is a business, guys. Yeah. And when they first signed that contract, it's a business. And you heard what he said. When he saw that they were going after Ryan Leaf, he went right and fixed his knee because he said, you know what? I'm probably not going to be here. I got to be able to prepare for my next contract or where I'm going to go next. So I have to be in tip-top supreme condition so I can get my next contract because it's not going to be here in Dallas.
Right. And he said, I use Jerry Wayne Jones's dime. He said, I'm going to get my knee done. Matter of fact, I need the other one rotated, man, and lift it a little bit, you know.
I'm getting that knee done ASAP right now.
Don't forget to armor all them tires while you're at it, baby. Oh, I forgot, man. I forgot. Shout out to all of the Facebook people, man. Hey, y'all continue.
And all the mods.
Yes, indeed. Jimbo, appreciate you. I see you holding it down, regulating. John,
what up, Jimbo?
Bean. and Christopher McNair. Shout out to you. And Hawkins, man, everybody, man. Appreciate you guys. And thank you as well, Gregory, with the $16 holla, man. Really appreciate you.
$16 holla.
Yes, Ryan. Hey, he was at Dumpster Juice. He donated $16.
Ryan.
Anybody with award number 99 was kind of horrible. Can y'all make that donation?
Man.
But, man, what else you got, man, as far as this interview process?
Right on time. Man. I was about to text her, where's my drink?
Oh.
I had to get my drink.
What you got?
Boo thing was wait.
What boo thing got you?
No, you don't want to know about that, man. People gonna say you ghetto.
Yeah,
I'm drinking that 211. People gonna say you ghetto as hell. You too old to be drinking that, man. Hey, I still drink Old English. I still drink Old English, King Cobra, all of it. So if you don't like it, I don't care.
Is that reserve still? Is that what 211?
That's that still reserve.
Still reserve. I said it backwards.
You heard me say that 211. Said, yeah, I know that's still reserve.
I know. Still reserve. This episode, the Late Night Hype, is now brought to you by
Still reserve.
Still reserve. Hey, Miller Lite. Hey. Don't forget to hit us up, Miller Lite now.
Miller Lite. Hey, we need that sponsors, man. Get on holler at us, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Hey, let's talk about Drew Brees, dog.
Oh my goodness.
What the hell?
I mean, we need that drop that my dog always drop over there, Skywalker.
We need Skywalker right now because we need all them little side things. Yeah. Get your damn act together.
Yeah, what? My thing is, and of course, we didn't get a chance to do the behind the scenes with A-Dub, but he spoke real about it too, right before we went live. You know,
what'd he say? Put that in your mouth.
Yeah. Look, there's a time. Ecclesiastic says there's a time and place for everything. I had to go to the Bible and reach and pour this out to people. It's a time and a place for everything. And during the height of this particular climate, you know, the late night hype, we don't back down and we don't fold like lawn chairs on any topic. Ain't that right, James? So we looked at that and we said, man, what the world is he talking about? Even got Michael Thomas saying, hush,
all
please.
Players are saying that, bruh.
Come on, man. Come on.
You got Michael Jenkins who just came over, said, F you. You got Michael Thomas saying, oh, my God, we ain't listening to you. You got a new receiver in Emmanuel Sanders saying, oh, man, that's straight trash. Drew Brees, you 40-something years old and you play for the New Orleans Saints. You don't play for the Idaho, blah, blah, blah. You play for the New Orleans Saints where it's a melting pot of everybody. And you have this sensitivity going on right now. You have the sensitivity going on right now with the nation. Now, I'm not saying you can believe how you want to believe, but with the sensitivity of these issues right now, you don't stand up and say, well, I don't believe anybody should disrespect the flag. And then you're going to use that lame stuff about your grandfather, bro.
Right.
You're going to say, well, when I think about the flag, I think about my grandfather back. No, you don't. No, you just trying to cover up your ass right now because you ain't got nothing to say. You ain't going to sit there and say what no other minorities or whatever in that military what you fighting along your grandfather. Cut it out, Drew. The problem is you shouldn't have said nothing in that aspect. Don't do that right now.
Not right now. The climate, man. Just understand.
The climate, bro. Things like that right now, man.
Man, he should have been PC'd all the way up. He should have been like, you know what? Right now, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, making sure my wife is okay, making sure the kids are going to school, getting everything ready. We just went through a crazy epidemic going on right now, pandemic going on right now. So I'm just gonna just sit back. We would talk about this another day. I appreciate your time. I thank you guys for reaching out to me. Who that? Whatever they say at the end,
I mean, that would have been, you wouldn't have had any problems with that at all if you were to saying that.
Right.
But you're going to go out there and say that, and especially like you're one of the elder statesmen in the league. Yeah. So a lot of people are looking to you, and when you see when he said that, how many people on Twitter players were like, "Oh, come on, Drew, not Drew." Everybody was loving Drew, but now when you hear that, we're thinking, "Come on, bro! Like you're." Let's be honest. half of the NFL is minorities
right.
or black.
Right.
Okay. So for you to sit there and say that I'm not going to be disrespecting the flag, and it's not about the flag. It was never about the flag. It was about the brutality and what it was representing, but it was never a disrespect to the flag. And I hate when people say that. It's just a cop-out and excuse, Law, because my whole family is military, dog.
Mine too.
My whole family.
Yeah.
My father was military. My mother was military. My sister was military. My brother's military. My son was military. Pretty much my whole family was military. And I guarantee you, none of them sat there and said that was disrespectful. And when Kaepernick even went to the man and said, don't sit on that bench, take a knee, because that's going to be more respectful. And he still does that in a peaceful manner. And then you're going to have the nerve to say that's disrespectful. That makes no damn sense, bro.
Right.
And you shouldn't be that far behind when it's 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, especially being the leader in the face of your particular franchise. Got everybody in the bind now, and we already know that's the party city. People talk about partying everywhere else, but man, when you go down to New Orleans, you party. And 9 times out of 10, it's multitudes of people that don't look like each other down there having not a good time, a great time. Come on.
That's a melting pot. That's a melting pot, man.
Yeah.
So you got to be a lot more sensitive, especially when you're the face of a franchise. So, and we had a little tweet about you want to talk about that tweet? You want to talk about that tweet?
Man, go ahead. Open it up, man. Kick it down.
I'll open it up.
Yeah,
okay. So we had a gentleman. I ain't going to say the name.
Yeah.
But he comes on our Twitter. He tells us, well, you know what? I like y'all, but I ain't listening to y'all no more. I'm not following y'all. I'm not listening to y'all. I heard Drew Brees, and I'm a New Orleans Saints fan now because he is respecting the military and our veterans, and so I'm going to go ahead and stand with him. What?
What?
You sound, excuse my language, you sound dumb as hell.
Yeah, he does, man.
You sound dumb as hell. You're going to say that you were a loyal Cowboys fan, which that's a damn lie. And then all of a sudden you're going to change from being a lifelong Cowboys fan, and you're not going to listen to our show any longer because Drew Brees said this and about veterans. You sound stupid as hell, bruh. Please. I'm glad you're gone.
Yes, indeed. And people got to understand, taking the knee is nothing to do with the flag. It's nothing to do with the flag. And peacefully, as a lot of people will say, peacefully protesting is part of the, I guess, the constitutional right to do a peaceful protest. And to think about it, just think about it, collectively speaking, from what Colin Kaepernick did all of those things for is what we're talking about now in this today's climate. Nevertheless, I do understand that those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. It's crazy, James. It is.
Dog, like I said, it doesn't make any sense because people are going off, right? Oh, we don't want the violence. We don't want the looting. We don't want the rioting. We don't want that, right? But when you have a man who all he said was, you know what? I am standing against the brutality of what the flag is standing for. I don't hate the flag, but everything what it's standing for is not right. So I'm going to take a knee until things change. And when I see things changing, I'm more happily than stand. What is disrespectful in with him saying that and doing that? Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all hate on that, right? Because he's being peaceful. But then you hate on it when people are going tearing up stuff. And it ain't just black folks tearing up shit.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Okay. It ain't black folks just tearing up shit. It's a whole bunch of everybody. Now, I'm going to tell everybody right now, we're all about football. And we do football all day. But these are reality right now, folks, and we can't get away from it. So if you don't want to hear these tough conversations, then you probably shouldn't be in the feed. We're not going to be about this every feed, but this is what's going on right now.
This is what's going on right now.
This is what's going on right now.
And that's just the reality of life, Protests are designed to go against the grain. Protests are designed to speak louder than the things that's going on. For example, when they threw all of that tea in the Boston River, in the Boston Ocean, whatever it was, when they threw the Boston Tea Party, when they had the party over there, it was uncommon. And they didn't have Instagram and Facebook during that time frame. Don't you know that they were sitting there waiting like, these brothers haven't came up with our checks yet. Where our money at? So they had to send something over there. It took probably 3 months to 4 months. Hey, man, where my money at? Man, the money is in the ocean now. We protested. We tired of paying all of this hot stuff. And if you're going to come over here, we're going to fight. We're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to fight. And that's how the United States got here in so many other small terms. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes you got to go against the grain to make things happen. And this whole thing with the COVID, the pandemic that's going on, and also with his, George Floyd, may he rest in peace, and also with his family, may they, condolences out to them. We are seeking change. That's all that people that look like you and I are seeking. You know what I'm saying? Change. That's all.
I mean, and here's the thing, and I made a video about it, Law. Right. And, I don't want to take up the time about it, but it's reality. Like, sure. I was brutalized by police. I got a scar under my eye, got stitches. I actually pulled them out myself. They said don't do it, but I'm a hardhead. I just pulled the stitches out myself. Right. But I got jumped by 4 police, and I was not in the wrong. I took them. I was going to take it to court, Law. Like, I had a case. I had a star witness, and this was back before cell phones and everything kind of blew up, and so I needed that star witness. Right. The police actually intimidated my witness. From not basically testifying because they were going to be in a lot of hot trouble. The attorney that I had got to go against them was one of the top guys in my state. Was one of the top attorneys. He seen my case and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking this because you got a case." You get what I'm saying? So we were going to go to trial for everything. I went to my friend and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And she said, "I can't do it." The police came at me, and I can't tell the rest because just a lot of complications with that. But basically, she said, "I can't do it." Police came to me and said, some things, and I'm just not going to do it. So I had to eat the case, end up taking it, going down, getting put on probation for something I didn't do. Because some cops basically got overly aggressive with me. I never fought them back. I put my hands up. I never went against them, and yet they still did what they did to me. You know what I'm saying? So I know firsthand when I hear about police brutality. I've been profiled. I'm sure you have went through it too, Law.
And I'm not sitting there saying
you
already know.
Yeah, my thing is like this ain't just about black folks. Right. A lot of other people have dealt with this. It's about the police brutality.
I mean, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and I think that there need to be some type of reform. And we already know that not everybody is bad, just like not everybody is good. I think that the amazing story today was Dak Prescott. And by him going over every line by line of how this is creates anxieties or trying to overcome a viewpoint of the way he looks and the way he got to walk around as it relates to him being just a human being, not given the same liberties and opportunities that everybody else receive, but also got to stay up and keep it up and narrow and keep everything in front of him. I think that what Dak Prescott did today was very noble in a sense, meaning that he looked at both sides of the situation and said, okay, let me just provide extra funds so that they can go through sensitivity training, so that they can go through the proper executions as relates to training so that we wouldn't be identified or profiled. I think that he did a very noble thing.
I think that was a great thing, and he still got beat up for it. That's what's sad.
That's the craziest thing of it all.
That's the craziest thing that he still got hated on for it. But this was my thing about that whole situation, and I'm going to say something with my boo thing. I'm going to expand upon that too. But if you really want change, you have to have these, number one, more minorities need to be on the force. Okay, true. More minorities need to try to be officers or be in the force, because I think that will maybe incite change. Because when you see all different races on the force, I feel like maybe it helps bring things together. And also, like you said, reforms, got to be programs, and you have to go into these neighborhoods. These officers, these police have to go in these neighborhoods, good or bad neighborhoods, and build relationships with the people. Okay, you have to build relationship with the people, because if people are looking at the police in a negative light, and the police are not going to the neighborhoods and trying to build up a relationship, there is never going to be a connection with that, and it's always going to be a hate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people, I think it needs to be more proactive with the officers, because they have to step out and say, guess what? We're like you. We're just like you, and we love that. They have to show more of the love so people can be more responsive to it. And then when I heard my boo thing saying, you know, it's some few bad apples. Yeah. I was listening to Chris Rock, and I don't know if you've seen it on the Twitter, where he was saying, you know, how people say, and I'm not getting on my boo about this, but you know, when people say, well, there's a few bad apples in the bunch of police officers. He said, you don't say that about airliners, do you? You don't say that about pilots. Well, there's a few bad apples this bad apple crashed a plane and he killed 300 people. That's a bad apple. Yeah. It's almost like an excuse on the force, like, oh, it's a few bad. You can't have a few bad apples as a police officer.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have them. And I think that you got to figure out a way that everybody, I love this saying, each one teach one. I think that their contemporaries, if they can figure out a way to help each other out, meaning that if you're super aggressive, look, I just got to put this out here. This is just common sense, big game, James. You got people that can go all the way to Africa, to the Serengeti, you know what I'm saying, and capture a wild lion. You know, capture an elephant, capture a gorilla without killing them. And, you know, I always say to myself, as dangerous as those animals are, you know, they say a hippo is dangerous out there. You can bite you in half. If you think I'm lying, watch that movie. And I know it's a superstitious movie, but watch Jumanji. A hippo can eat you alive, bruh.
Yeah, it can, and them teeth hurt.
Them teeth hurt, but they can go to the Serengeti and capture those animals without killing them. How come you can't rest Tyrone without killing them? You know, how come you can't get Pookie and Ray Ray without killing them? We got to figure out a way. And I'm not saying this to be funny or jokingly, but we got to figure out a way. And somehow, one way or another, the system and the style that we going at right now, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that.
Not in 2020.
Not in 2020. You're right.
You know, we've come too far with everything that's going on to go take steps backwards. You get what I'm saying? It's just, that's the thing. We cannot continue to take steps backwards. So hopefully everything rectifies from this. And I just hope that self-awareness, I think that's the biggest thing with everybody is self-awareness, because I'll be the first to tell you, all police are not bad.
Oh, no.
Number one, I have my uncle. I have two of my uncles that are on the force. Okay. I've met police women and men that have been very good to me, okay, been very gracious to me, helped me out. So let me not sit there and say all police are bad, because that's a damn lie.
Right.
But you have to weed out those ones that are not good, and you have to take authoritative action on them immediately to make examples for the other ones who may contemplate doing something like that. It's just like in the NFL we're talking about, right? If we're talking about, you can correlate it with the NFL. You have a headstrong coach that don't play them damn games, right? Well, you step across the line, you cut. Well, and if you cut a good player, what are all them other players going to do? They're going to back off and say, okay, you know what? I think I need to get my act together, because it's all cool to cut a French player who's a 53 man. It's all good to cut him, but cut that man that's on the 20 man roster. You know, he's like a really good player, and you cut his ass. I guarantee you, all the other players that are top dogs going to start looking like, you know what? I better get my act together, because if they cut him,
I'm no different.
You'll cut me.
You'll cut me.
So if they're going to do that to officers, and you do this to a person, no matter if they are black or white, if you do this, these are the consequences. And when they are seeing that and that happening to them every time, more police officers, in my opinion, will start to open in their eyes.
Yeah, it starts saying, hey, whenever you get cut or whenever this happens, we're going to take money from the collective pension. I bet you people be start like, you know what? Y'all better get your act together, Yes, indeed, man. This is some good conversation, man. I hope that you guys can understand where we coming from when we talk about these points right here. And I do know that football unify a lot of things, and sports does it as well. And that's what we crave and that's what we want. Maybe all this stuff can go, pass on by, but it just will not happen until we have some type of reform and some type of change.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do it, I mean, like I said, there's no excuse for it now. Right. We're in a society where it's a melting pot. There shouldn't be racism, even though I don't think it's ever going to change in that aspect. There's always going to be racism, in my opinion, because there's just always going to be ignorant people. Just the way it is. Right. There's just always going to be ignorant people. I don't give a hell what you say. There's always going to be ignorant people. So I feel like there's always going to be racism, but we can still become more educated and be smart about this, man. It's just like, this shouldn't be happening no more, Law. That's just shouldn't be happening
right,
no more.
Man. You speaking real good stuff, fam. You are. Yes, indeed, man. Any other thoughts on your mind with this? Because I'm pretty
not
much,
to me, man. I'm ready for Cedric Wilson tomorrow.
Oh yeah, man. And then we would have my dog back over here, man, holding it down with the ones and twos, man.
All the ones and twos. Hey, y'all don't understand how much we miss our DJ.
Skywalker,
You feel me? Because that's what. Hey ho, KMT with the $5.99. That's okay, KMT. You as a college student, so you be donating. So I give you all the love, and that jersey's coming. I already got you set up, big dog. So come on, man, and make sure you take that picture of that jersey when you get it, so we have a good ass time with that. You feel me? But no, I'm just excited about tomorrow. We finally have offense, an active offensive player, and we can see what Cedric Wilson is talking about, what he thinks about McCarthy, the offense. And I'm excited about that. And then we have, what's her name? Is it Dana? Danny?
Man, I ain't gonna try to murder it. D. You just want what we gonna call it? Just D.
We'll just say D.
D. Sunday.
Is gonna be here tomorrow, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
She's Sunday.
Yeah, she's Sunday.
Okay, she worked with Brian Broaddus. She does a lot of stuff with Dallas Cowboys.com network, and she's going to be on Sunday. And I'm waiting for Patrick Creighton. I talked to my homie. I inboxed him, and so I'm just waiting for his response. But I'm thinking we could get Creighton for next Tuesday, next Tuesday late night hype. That would be a beautiful thing, and we can suck all the juice up out of him.
Yeah, we're gonna squeeze, man. We're gonna squeeze him for all of the information.
Grape juice out of him.
You grab him, I hold him.
David Jackson says Danny Sirac. That's all. Danny Sirac. Yeah, Carlos Molina. Thank you, Danny Sirac. She'll be on here Sunday, y'all.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Landon, man. He just made the donation to help elevate this thing. He says just go through got through watching a little YouTube video from E2 channel.
E2 Blue. He's been in the feed. What's up with you? Salutes to you, E2 Blue. That's my dog. That's my dog.
He gave a shout out to both of us. That's what he said over here, Landon. So appreciate E2 Blue, man. Y'all check him out, man. Follow his content. Follow his page. Look, Cowboys family, this is the greatest thing about it. We all may not look alike, right? We might not sound alike, but baby, like I said earlier, we all bleed that silver and blue, and we're going to continue to give you guys what you need as it relates to this information for the nation from our objective thoughts, our opinions, and nothing is written down. Nothing is scripted in a sense. It's just us. This is how you will talk to us out there in the streets, or the streets, as they say, And the right big name, James.
Definitely that. And I hear a lot of people say, I don't know anything about Danny, so I like hearing that. So I hear a lot of people giving her a lot of love. So that ought to be exciting. I love having the ladies on here because we want to have more lady viewers, man. You know what I'm saying? Ladies know some sports nowadays. They've been on it. So definitely can't wait to get her on there. talk to PC, talk to Cedric Wilson. We got some more other people in the fold that we're working on right now as we speak that you're really going to love. I know, Law, you got a couple people that you mentioned that you're talking about. We don't want to throw the names out there, but boy, if we told you these names, you'd be like, what? Yeah, that's right. We on it. We working on it. So just get ready, man. This is what we do, right, Law? We bring the late night hype, the real shit. Excuse the language. We bring the real shit. You listen to everybody that's on the feed as far as our guests. They say it's real over here.
It's real. And they always want to let people know that, hey, this channel right here, we bring the heat, the yoga flame.
Yoga fire.
Yes, indeed, man. All right, Cowboy Nation and everybody, man, the late night hype crew, we will rejoin tomorrow. James, you got anything else you're working on, fam?
Oh, no, just make sure this is what I want y'all to pay attention to. One plug I'm going to do, two plugs I'm going to do. One, I'm going to get back to my writing. I'm going to get back to writing my articles. I was writing articles for the Dallas Prospect, my dog DDP. He just hit me up today and said, hey, man, you want to start writing some articles for me again? Hell yeah, because I need to do that. So check out the writings. I'll be starting writing my articles again. And also announcement that I'm thinking about jumping back in the high school realm, as far as doing production like this with high school athletes, football and basketball. I coach high school, a lot of the athletes. I know a lot of the athletes out here. So I'm thinking about really getting back into that high school game, with the basketball and football and just kind of really getting these guys in college.
Right.
Getting these guys in school, getting these kids in school, exposure for these guys. Hey, Mel Hayes. All right, had Patrick Walker, but we can bring him again.
Oh, yeah, bring good Pat on. I need to talk to him.
I can bring Pat again. I done had him on here twice. I can bring him again. Jane Slater, we can holler at her. We definitely can. I mean, I don't think she's going to be off limits to us now. We definitely got to get Brian Broadus. Ain't that right, Law?
Yeah, bring the Broadus in, because y'all know he bring the fire too, man. And just bring in some raw, uncut stuff as well.
Katie Drummond. Look, y'all don't know. We got so many people that we're going to be messing with. Woo!
Yes, indeed. So, Cowboy Nation, man, hit up the late night hype, man. When we live, join those notifications. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Skywalker Steel channel with the new feel. And Big Game James, Silver and Blue Nation. Man, everything else remained the same. Boy, let's go, Cowboy Nation. And remember.
Let's go, baby. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. And y'all better be in there dicking. Ooh, I said deep and thick.
It's all good, baby, because hey, the innovator, the motivator, we all get this thing going one way or another, baby. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Hey. My dog, Big Game James, baby. He gonna put it down for the ladies over there. There you go. It's the music, it's the feeling, it's the vibe, it's the flavor for the nation. One way or another, baby. Shout out to Q Child, shout out to Rue, Glock, shout out to all of you guys. Jimbo over there, Ricky Bailey. Shout out to you all. That's been all time. I really appreciate you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to absolutely nothing but the best. Let's go.